I chose to do my project on spirituality and life after death because it is something that interested me from a very young age. Everyone is on the same boat in this life. We are all born, and eventually we die. However, people hold so many different beliefs, religions, and practices regarding how we should behave in life and what happens after we die. I interviewed everyday people, each with their own unique beliefs, customs, and viewpoints on spirituality and life after death. John Michael Acapinti is a fellow student at Marywood, as well as the founder of his own paranormal investigation team. He has a strong belief and interest in ghosts and the afterlife. Megan Godwin is a professor here at Marywood, as well as a Buddhist monk. Her faith in Buddhism gives her an interesting view of the afterlife. John Pazik is a childhood friend of mine who had a near-death experience at a young age. He also lost his best friend a few years ago, and these two incidents have shaped his belief in different ways. Esperanza Gutierrez was raised Catholic in the United States after her family came over from Brazil. She remains connected with her Christian faith to this day, which influences her beliefs on the afterlife. Danya Ann is a graduate student at Marywood University and currently uses yoga and meditation as her spiritual practices. Her free-spirited beliefs on the afterlife influence her everyday life in unique ways. Jason Kaminsky is a fellow student at Marywood University. He was raised Catholic, but is currently exploring his religious and spiritual options before choosing a specific path to follow. My definition of religion is putting one's spiritual beliefs into place with rules, worship ceremonies, etc.
Yeah, I was baptized as a Roman Catholic, but I never went to church.
I was born into Catholic.
So I was grown up in the Catholic affiliation because of my mom.
I was born Catholic on my mom's side. I was not born here, I was born in Trinidad. On my dad.
I'm Roman Catholic.
I don't want to select an institution and just give myself to yet until I do research with it first and really see what else is out there. I'm sort of at a spiritual crossroads right now.
Like that. I meditate and I practice yoga religiously, and that's where I find my faith and that's where I find my peace.
And what religion do you currently practice? Buddhism.
Well, I would say that I'm Catholic and that I do believe in God, and every now and then I would say that I would pray.
I attend church every week. Since the day I was born, I'm still doing it.
My opinion on the origin of life.
I definitely believe in God. There has to be just something out there.
I believe in a higher power. I do believe in evolution, and I do believe in multiple higher powers working together with like one major source.
The Webster's Dictionary definition of God is the one supreme being, the creator and ruler of the universe.
Do I believe in a God? I'd have to say that I am deeply agnostic about that concept. I don't think it's something that I personally will ever resolve.
So I do believe in God, and I do feel like there's like another world, I guess, if that's strange.
Just growing up, I knew from my environment around me like that there has to be something.
It is likely an emergent property of the complex convergence of a multitude of things.
And if God is what some people choose to call that power, then maybe I do believe in God.
And not just the fact that we've been taught this from grade school up until now. Like, it's just a regular question. It's like, do you believe or don't you? Basically, I'm a believer.
So in the same way that the property of wetness emerges from the coming together of the right amounts of hydrogen and oxygen, so too does life emerge from the right amounts of a bunch of other things.
My description of God is just a loving being that no matter what you do, like, you're always going to be forgiven.
A powerful being.
Okay, so Buddhism, there's so many different kinds. Some of them hold the Buddha as a god, many of them don't. My particular version does not, so he's just a person with some good ideas that we're still thinking about.
Okay, so I'm taking Modern Belief course right now. We were talking actually about this last week, and we came up to the conclusion it's this man that has this white dress on, and he has this locks of curly brown hair.
My description of God is He is the ultimate ruler.
This thing is in control of everything that we can imagine and everything that we cannot imagine.
Image-wise, I'm not really sure. I mean, people go by, what they're taught. Man with long hair and a beard. Can't say that for sure.
I like to think of the soul as a source of energy in a being that is eternal and multidimensional.
I believe in the idea of a soul.
I truly do.
Oh, most definitely. Completely, I believe about a soul. Like, our hearts and our emotions and our feelings, everything that we feel is basically our soul just like growing.
Yes, I believe in an idea of a soul. I believe everybody has one.
Yes, I feel like every single human being that has a soul inside of them. And then once they pass away, their soul somehow releases from their body and they can move on maybe to another person or move on to like a different type of heaven.
I believe that it's located somewhere within the body. I don't think it's been determined just yet.
I think that while we're here in our physical form, our souls are within us. I don't know where soul goes, so like Danya's soul, I don't know where she goes.
If I had to pick a location, I think it's a mental thing.
Does it bounce around? I don't know. Does it transcend? Does it go somewhere above? I don't know, but they move on.
I believe after we die, the soul hangs around like family members.
Well, when we die, I'd like to think that our souls part and they find its path in the world.
Well, the Buddha says that this is one of the unanswerables.
I think that when we pass away, our soul releases from our body.
We die.
I believe it exits the body. I believe that it either goes to an afterlife, whatever that may be, or it searches for something if it didn't complete something.
And then after a certain amount of time, goes to wherever heaven may be.
Whether it be still on this earth or, heaven, hell, if you believe in it. But yeah, I'd like to think I have a place upstairs.
How do I think God thinks of us humans?
I think God is proud of us and at the same time disappointed in us.
I think God thinks that humans are one of his lesser imaginative and not one of his brightest projects.
So the Buddha understood human beings as complex creatures who are probably a little bit too focused on themselves to earnestly help one another.
In ways, I believe he's proud of us, but with some of the religious wars and stuff like that, I don't think he's happy about that.
I think he's disappointed.
If you look at animals and how they follow their instincts and they understand that they have to work with the world and work with nature and work with the universe and work with each other, and we still can't get it.
I feel like he's proud of us because many people in this world, they have positive mindsets, they have many accomplishments, they do give back, and they are people that want to make a difference in this world.
I think he thinks of us as a test. Our whole life is a test, so he puts us on this earth to see, how we perform and what decisions we make, how we learn from them, and how we fix them.
He or she or this entity, I think that what we have become as a humanity and society, I think whatever is up there or whatever created us is not happy with what's been happening.
I describe the afterlife as the place we go after we die.
Describe my idea of the afterlife.
The afterlife.
My idea of the afterlife is our souls reconnecting with this earth.
I believe when you go on to your afterlife, your soul goes hopefully to
So
heaven.
my mom and I had this conversation about an afterlife. We were talking that we both agree that somehow when you pass away, your soul changes and
we're buried, and then that's it for our physical self, but our spiritual self, I believe, just carries on. Like,
The idea of the afterlife is whatever the person thought it was.
I think the afterlife is probably a huge world, similar to this world, minus the BS.
our soul
Right.
never dies.
For me, do I imagine that there will be something after death? I don't know. My suspicion is probably not, but I honestly don't know.
Minus the hate, minus the nonsense. It's everyone we don't see anymore, living, loving, and it's life. It's life, just not in this realm.
If they thought that there was a heaven when they were living, I think the soul will embody that.
I just feel like in the afterlife, somehow our soul is going to help with another individual.
I think that at the end of your life, if you have done stuff bad where you think I'm not a good person or I'm going to go somewhere bad, and I think that your soul will emulate that and you'll be trapped forever in your own personal life.
Aristotle had an interesting opinion about this. He said that we live on insofar as we are remembered by others.
Do you believe in reincarnation and past lives?
In a literal sense, no. I mean, again, it's one of those things that I don't know for certain, but my gut instinct is telling me that that's probably not a realistic way to understand how life functions in the cosmos.
In the paranormal field, there's a ton of theory about reincarnation.
I'm on the fence with reincarnation.
Do I believe in past lives? Yes, I truly do.
It's all on what you study and how you utilize it and what you believe. It's definitely a possibility.
I believe you have a decision if you want to come back as whatever it may be. You have the option, or you have the option of just saying forget it.
Yes, I do believe in that. I feel like once you die, you can change into a different person. Somehow your soul changes.
You'll eventually get, your share.
I truly do. Do I believe in reincarnation? Yes, but I have more of a deeper belief in past lives than in reincarnation. Do I believe in karma?
Yes, I believe in karma.
I do believe in karma.
Oh yes, I definitely do believe in karma. I definitely believe in the fact that if someone's going to be rude to you or disrespectful, somehow karma's going to come back and nip them right in the butt.
About that, but I believe in balance.
Karma. Yep. Karma's a bitch.
There will be balance within each person, and there has to be balance between a person, an individual, and the universe. That person.
So insofar as the Buddha defined karma as causality, then sure.
If you treat somebody poorly, I believe it's gonna come back to you in some way. It might be a week down the road, it could be 10 minutes down the road. I believe it does come back to you though.
Where there's good, there's bad. So maybe that's how karma works into that for me, but I cannot strictly say I believe in the whole what goes around comes around thing. What is my opinion on the existence of ghosts?
Well, being the founder of my paranormal team, Lackawanna County Paranormal, I definitely believe 100% in ghosts.
I never had any ghost experiences that make me believe in them or anything like that.
I think they exist.
A lot of people will come to us and believe that they have a ghost when it's just a creak in the house or something.
If you believe in past lives, you have to believe in ghosts. So I guess they go hand in hand for me.
I believe they exist to a point.
It's just whether or not you are able to interact with one.
A psychic, we saw them, and with this one man that we saw, and he said that he saw two people in the room, and that he could smell roses, and he felt pain in his knee.
I believe that if there is a spirit who is restless and needs to get something done, I believe that it's not going to be at peace no matter where it's going.
But they are out there.
And I had two grandmothers that passed away. The first one loved roses.
until it completes that. If it has a goal in life and it doesn't complete it, whether it's saying a message to somebody or making sure somebody knows they love them or that they're here for them, they're going to follow through with it.
Also said that his knee was hurting, and my other grandmother, she had knee surgery, and my shoulder felt very numb, and he says because her hand was on my shoulder.
If a person is hostile in life, their spirit's going to be hostile in life, and they're going to want to cause harm on a living when they're dead.
My mom, it was so weird, her hair moved like this, and he says because it's her mom that walked past, and there was like no fans out of the room or anything. I know, it was bizarre.
My near-death experience was I was playing in the backyard. I was jumping onto a pole and I slipped back. I fractured my skull. The doctors told my mom that I wasn't going to make it, and the priest came in, was going to read me my last rites, and ended up that I made it. I don't really think that situation changed my perspective that much. Like, yeah, my perspective basically changed after my best friend, Paul Miller, passed away. Showed me that life could change in the blink of an eye. And I was speaking to him on the phone the night before, and everything was going well. Said we'll see each other tomorrow. The next day, my whole life changed. After I lost him, I just look at things like life is such a delicate thing.
How do my religious beliefs affect my everyday life?
Probably how it affects my everyday life is just the way I like treat people.
It encourages me to go to church more often, which
I have to accept that people are who they are.
and to pray more often.
In Buddhism, there's this particular writing that's supposed to be the set of rules for monks.
You know, I'm always nice to people. I'm outgoing.
There's some pretty specific stuff on there, like abstaining from essentially abuse of your sensory organs.
Obviously, to be thankful for what I have, because many people do complain about the things that they have and they don't realize that what they have are the little things that many other people need.
I don't judge, you know, like I said with beliefs, like, you know, believe what you want.
I hope I have at least piqued your interest in the afterlife. The point of this video is to get people talking about the topics of spirituality and life after death. I'd also like people to take a tolerant look at religion as a whole and try to understand that everyone chooses a belief or practice based on their own individual ideas and experiences. It shouldn't matter what name anyone calls God, as long as we are all grateful for life in general and peaceful in our existence, as well as being kind to all living things. No one can be right or wrong, we don't know. But the one thing we all do need to survive is tolerance, love for each other, and love for our Creator, no matter how we individually choose to express it.